Box office banter. This is a knee-jerk reaction for Cyrano, movie that just dropped this week with Peter Dinklage. It is a musical. I believe Josh's first musical in theaters.
Yeah, movie's about to start, and Rodney goes, "Is this your first musical?" I was like, "Wait, what? It's a musical? I didn't even know it was a musical."
Yeah, but what did you think of it?
It wasn't bad.
Yeah,
There were definitely some high points and some low points. We kind of talked about it a little bit.
Yeah,
after the movies, which we can get into in a little bit in the spoiler part. But overall, I mean, I would say I enjoyed it as a whole.
Yeah, it was definitely. I would say I enjoyed it. It was an enjoyable movie to watch. Like I told you last night, the first act was amazing to me. I loved every second of the first, probably like 45 minutes to an hour of this movie. And then the second act kind of started to really lose me, like really tough. Story got kind of stupid, and then some things that didn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
That were really kind of getting on my nerves. It was kind of pissing me off. But and then the third act came around and it was okay, but then it like really picked up at the end of the third act, and the ending of the movie itself was actually really solid to me. So, but yeah, it was enjoyable for the most part.
And get into some spoiler stuff here, I guess.
Spoiler.
Stuff that you were saying after the movie that like really bugged you in, how she can't tell the difference between their voices.
It makes no sense to me.
They're like both behind a wall, and Peter Dinklage starts talking for this 6-foot black dude, and she's like, "Why'd your voice change?"
And not only that, yeah, she said, "Why is your voice an octave lower?" And he said, "It's because the way you want to hear me in the way of like the poetry." And he said, but then the thing about that is like they were raised together, like they've known each other their whole life,
lifelong friends,
and you're not going to be able to tell.
His voice.
And then he walks closer to her and starts talking, and she's still looking ahead like he's behind that same wall.
And he walked to like her side.
Yeah, like 5-10 feet
and
from her.
And she's still looking. Yeah, that was.
Singing wise, I wasn't that impressed with Peter Dinklage. He didn't really.
Well, hang on. What were you expecting? Because I wasn't expecting.
Well, I've been blown away by some actors singing. Like I didn't know that Hugh Jackman had the kind of voice he has. Zac Efron has an amazing voice. Ryan Gosling, he sings really good. But I don't know. I was hyped to see if Peter Dinklage can carry that kind of caliber for the singing, which
I don't think he did terrible.
No. I wouldn't say terrible, but I think it could have been a better choice maybe in actors for that.
What other? Oh yeah, I guess.
He had that dope ass fight scene.
Yeah.
He took on, what was it, 10 people
guys in an alleyway.
Yeah. His swordplay, it was like very reminiscent of Game of Thrones. Yep. It was like seeing
the whole movie was that.
It kind of was, yeah. But
my favorite scene by far was at the end when they're at war or whatever, and they've got that like suicide mission they're going on.
Yes.
And they're in like this cave or whatever, and each of the guys is singing a song, but it's their letter home to their wife or children or girlfriend.
No,
or
it's their last letter.
That was a super powerful moment.
It was.
But what I didn't like is how they transitioned out of that straight into
Christian running
Tyrion.
out there.
Yeah, Christian and
dude, when he ran out there just to get shot, what was the fucking point of that?
Like he live anymore? I don't know.
Literally, yeah, that's what it was. He's like, "Oh, you're in love with her? I'm gonna go get shot." Like it makes no sense to me. But of course, right after that, though, is when it really picked up because Peter Dinklage, he ended up getting shot in I believe it was above his heart, but it was on his chest, and that ended up being a fatal wound for him. But
later on, yep.
But at the end, he confessed his love to old girl, and she confessed her love back to him, and it was always you, which is cliche, but it worked for what was happening in that scene with him fading out. So,
yep. What do you give it score-wise?
I'm gonna sit with a 7.3 on this.
7.3.
Yeah, it was lower last night. When I left, I was probably at like a 6.7. But the more I thought about it, I was like, it did have its really good high moments to it. So it was just the middle of it that kind of lost me.
So for me, I went kind of back and forth with my score yesterday after we left, and I set it on a 6.5.
That's respectable for your
It
first.
it was solid. Didn't blow me away by any means, but I mean, I would watch it again for sure.
Hell yeah. I wish you could have seen West Side Story in IMAX. Dude, that movie was so fucking incredible.
Peace.